morning, everyone. Welcome to Tampa City Council. This is a special call meeting to discuss the CIT. Let's have roll call, please.
Carlson.
Here.
Hurtek.
Here.
Clendenin. Henderson.
Present.
Vieira.
Here.
Miranda. Maniscalco.
Here.
We have a physical quorum.
All right, I just want to let the record show that we have a memo received from Councilmember Clendenin that he will be unable to attend due to a previous obligation. Should he finish early, he may show up. We're going to take public comment after the presentation, so we can hear the information, and then the public will speak. Can I get a motion to open all public hearing? Thank you very much. We have a motion from Councilmember Henderson, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? I've been waiting almost 30 years for this discussion. The CIT.
28 to be exact.
28 to be exact. So Mayor
All right.
Castor, take it away.
There you go. All right, thank you, Chair Maniscalco. Council, thank you so much for allowing me to be here to discuss the renewal of the community investment tax that will be renewed in 2026, hopefully, and go on for 15 years. Before I get into this discussion, one, I would like to recognize and say thank you to County Commissioner Gwen Myers for being here, and then Deputy County Administrator Greg Hordell, who you'll hear from in just a minute. So as Council considers the interlocal agreement for the CIT and the specific project list, I'd just like to give you a very quick overview of the city's position, and then turn it over to Greg to go in a little deeper on the timelines and the entire process. So I don't have to tell council how critical this funding is for our community as we move forward. The Community Investment Tax funds the very basic obligations of our local government, looking at our public safety, fixing our roads, making those safer, ensuring that our parks and recreation facilities are maintained and available for our community. For 30 years, city and county leaders have been excellent stewards of this tax funding, of this CIT. And I want to show you that these projects have affected every single corner of the city of Tampa. They have been carried out throughout our community. Now, to show that we've been good stewards of that tax funding, I want to show you where that money has been spent to date. As you can see, $434 million of funding so far, and that has been in broad categories, as you can see from up there. And then also, anyone has the ability to review the specific projects and again, see the value that they have brought to every single neighborhood throughout our city. Talking about purchasing our fire rescue vehicles, recreation center roof repairs, replacing playground equipment, buying our police cruisers, flood relief, and road improvements throughout our city. We've all come to understand the true scale of our infrastructure needs, not only in the city of Tampa, Plant City and Temple Terrace, but Hillsborough County as well. Some months ago, there was a speaker during public comment that indicated that a mayor's job was to do a little, and then pass it off to the next administration. And I would submit that that is one of the reasons that we've found ourselves in the position that we are in with the infrastructure needs and looking at a lot of the delayed maintenance that we have found. It is our job to act in the present, to fix our roads, to make them more safer, to ensure that our community remains safe and that we are maintaining our facilities throughout the city. Now, this is, as you know, 15-year renewal of the funding source that people have been paying for 30 years now. They've seen the results of that, the positive results of that. But I also want to share something, a statistic that you all know, that an estimated 20% of this sales tax is paid by individuals from outside of Hillsborough County. So that's also an issue of fairness, because as they travel into Hillsborough County, as they come into our city, they're using our facilities, they're using our services, and they're also benefiting from our infrastructure. So going into the next slide, this is a broad overview of the spending categories that are proposed for the renewals of the community investment tax. Now, you will notice that there is a slice up there for Raymond James and Emily Arena maintenance. That is a contractual obligation. And as my friend Councilman Miranda and I discussed, whether you agree or disagree, this is a contractual obligation that we have to pay to maintain these facilities. It is not to expand them or to build new facilities. This is our contract obligations for the maintenance of those. As you can also see, we've doubled the amount, the percentage that has been put into transportation as well, because we all know the needs of our roadways and what we need to do to just bring those up to minimum standards. So what we are asking of City Council is to move this issue forward, the agreement and the project list, so that it can go on the ballot in November and be decided by our residents and the residents of the other cities and the county as well. I would also ask that you each get involved in sharing the value of this funding and what it has done to our city and the critical need for it moving forward. The needs that we have with fixing our roads, with ensuring our community stays safe, with the contractual obligations, those are all going to go there. They're not going to disappear if this CIT renewal is not approved. We are going to have to find another revenue source, which for the city of Tampa means our general fund. So we're going to have to find a revenue source for this estimated almost $800 million over the next 15 years. So, it's no secret that our city is growing. We're among the fastest growing cities in the nation. It's estimated that we'll have an additional 100,000 residents by 2050 in our city. And as our city grows, our needs grow. We've all seen that over the past few years. So we have got to ensure that we are doing what we need to keep our facilities maintained, that we are keeping our roads up to par, paved, and ensuring that they're safe, and ensuring that the community, the city of Tampa, remains one of the safest cities our size in the nation. So this is a critical decision that you're going to be making, and I thank you all not only for the decisions that you will make in this interest, but what you do to serve our community each and every day. So thank you for your time, and now I'm going to turn it over to Deputy Administrator Greg Horridell.
Thank you, Mayor. And if we could bring up the next presentation from the county, that would be awesome.
And please state your name.
For the record, my name is Greg Horwedel, Deputy County Administrator for Hillsborough County. And I'm delighted to be here with you this morning. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss CIT. This is, as the Mayor said, pretty critical for our entire community, not the least of which is Tampa. You all are the center city for the county, and I know there's been a significant amount of money that's been allocated for Tampa's needs. You've heard from the Mayor. I'll talk more globally about the county's needs and give you some background about how the CIT came about initially, what it does today, and what we're looking for it to do in the future. And is it that one? That one?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's scary. I'm getting touched.
Thank you, Mayor. So, Florida Statute 212 gives us the authority as the county to put this item on the ballot and to actually levy a half-cent sales tax for community investment. We can only levy a half-cent because we already have a half-cent that goes for the Indigent Care Fund, and that's been around since 1991, I believe. Phyllis Busanski championed that. That's been longstanding priority for the county commission, and it does circumscribe our ability to have a penny sales tax as Pasco does, as Pinellas does, we are limited to the half cent. It is levied pursuant to an ordinance that was adopted by the county commission. The proceeds are distributed by an interlocal agreement or state formula. I'll talk a little bit about that. The allowable uses are only for capital projects, and I want to emphasize that. All the groups that I've talked to sometimes are confused why we don't use it to pay the firefighters in the fire stations that we can build. This is limited by statute to the allowable expenses, and those are capital expenses only. However, they did tweak the statute a little bit. They allow for loans, grants, rebates for energy efficiency, and also for economic development projects. We don't have any in our pending project list, but do want to note that that is an allowable expense. This does expire in November of 2026. We're bringing it now because we believe it's going to take 2 years for all of our jurisdictions to plan the type of major capital projects that we have in mind. As the mayor said, this revenue source is paid by about 20% those who don't live in the county. If somebody came to me and said, I want to pay 20% of your mortgage and you can still live in the house and own it, I'm going to take them up on that deal, to be perfectly honest. So in the current allocation plan that was approved back in 1996 by all the respective partners, 25% of CIT revenue off the top went to 2 specific uses. One was for the school district, and one was to the Raymond James facility. I want to talk about the school district just for a minute, and you'll see that the board, our board, put a different percentage in this time around. The reason for that is, in 1996, the school district did not have the ability to do as they do now, which is to have a half cent of their own. They currently have that in place, and they are using that for their facilities. So they have their own half cent opportunity, and I expect at some point when it's ready to be renewed, they'll have that issue on the ballot as well. It was approved fairly significantly by the voters when it was first on the ballot last time. The other piece was a $9 million contribution toward debt service for the stadium construction. In '96, we had new ownership for the Buccaneers. They said, quite frankly, if you're not going to build us a stadium, we're going to look at other opportunities in other communities. There's only 32 teams in the country, and there are lots of cities that want those teams. We did have it on the ballot. The voters approved it, so we had $9 million annually that went for debt service. Approximately 9% of the overall amount throughout the years, the last 28 years, has gone toward the stadium. The remaining revenue is distributed by population-based state shared sales tax formula. And under that formula, the county receives about 75%, Tampa receives about 22%, Plant City and Temple Terrace, based on their population, lower amounts. By recipient organization, that means that over the past 28 years, the county has received approximately $1.2 billion. School board has received $655 million. City of Tampa, importantly, has received almost $400 million. Sports Authority, again, for the stadium, has received approximately $262 million. And Plant City and Temple Terrace, again, smaller amounts. Expenditures by category, all agencies have reported to us what the projects are. I encourage everyone here and who might be listening to go to hcfl.gov/CIT. Every single project that has been funded or completed over the past 28 years is available, so you can go see the funding that was allocated, the status of the project, and whether it's been completed or not. I believe the mayor said, and I echo this, I believe the city and the county have been good stewards of taxpayer dollars. We'll show you some of the expenditures specifically for the county. I know the mayor talked about your needs, and they're roughly similar to the county's overall needs. But as you can see from the list, there's lots of projects that are related to bridges, intersections, stormwater, police and fire. It's really been a very broad tax that we've used for very broad uses. We've expended a little over $1 billion through fiscal year 22. People are somewhat surprised when I tell them that almost 50%, 49%, has been spent in the county on transportation. That is a significant amount of money. For everyone who thinks that our transportation network is not that great, and I know I hear about it quite often, it would be even worse if we did not have $500 million that was spent on county roads in the last 28 years. Next, public safety, that means police and fire, parks and recreation, another significant component for us, but I know it's also significant for you all. These are some pictures that city staff graciously provided of projects that have been funded. They're just a representative example of the types of things that you all have used the dollars that are apportioned to you so that you can see the impact it's made in your community. I find this part really interesting. We've averaged about 23,000 people since 1996 who have moved into Hillsborough County. With that level of growth, we're expecting it to continue, to be quite frank. People do want to move here thanks to the fantastic projects the city has done and the things that the county has done to make our area more livable. We continue to see population growth. We estimate there'll be almost 500,000 additional people by 2050. That would bring our countywide population to approximately 2 million people, which is significant. In fact, if you remember, and I'm sure Councilman Miranda probably does remember, back in '96, one of the reasons for passing this in the first place was because the population growth had outstripped both of our communities' ability to fund necessary infrastructure. We're still in that situation because of the volume of people who have moved here. I will say that the vast amount of the roughly 70% increase overall, 83% of that has been in the unincorporated county. So we comprise about 500,000 people. It's like, for lack of a better term, the city of Hillsborough County. It includes Brandon, Riverview, and all those other areas that are not incorporated. Flint City has had the next highest level of growth at 56%, and Temple Terrace and Tampa both are at about 40%. If you look at just our call volume for fire rescue, and again, I know these numbers are roughly the same for you all, so this is a representative sample. The dates are a little bit different from '96 just because of the data that we were able to collect. We've had a 197% increase in our call volume. For the sheriff, we've had a 75% increase from 2009, so 1,300,000 calls per year just for the sheriff's department. That's phenomenal growth, and it is largely based because of the population growth that we're continuing to see. I find the graph at the bottom right-hand corner to be instructive, at least for the county portion of the community. We have 110% growth in our sidewalks, which, frankly, our sidewalk network at the distance that we have today would stretch from here to Seattle. So if you ever want to take a walk from here to Seattle, just go on every single sidewalk in the unincorporated county. You'll accomplish the same thing in miles. You won't reach Seattle. You'll still be here. But just wanted to give you an example for the type of extensive network that we have. I will also say that given the number of repairs that we have and filling in the gaps, it would take us approximately $600 million. Let that sink in just for a minute. $600 million just to fix all of our sidewalks. The road growth is less, and I think that is also instructive. We've only had 31% growth in the unincorporated area in our road network, and I think that lags behind what our population growth has been, and it really is indicative of the type of struggle we're facing to fund road improvements, intersection improvements. That's why this is such a critical funding source. As I said earlier, we've already invested half of these dollars in transportation. If we didn't have that money, that number would be far lower. That percentage would be far lower. The four categories that the board identified as eligible in 212, they're actually very broad. They're the statutory categories. They are transportation, public safety, public facilities, public utilities. I won't read all of these. You can see them on your screen, but they're exactly as they sound. They are all capital items that contribute to the betterment of our community. Importantly, I did want to mention you can use dollars like this for repair. So we will have money that goes towards sidewalk repairs, and I'm certain you all will have repair of your infrastructure as well. So based upon our estimates of receiving $200 million a year from this tax if the voters choose to extend it. With a 3% annual growth rate, we're projecting that overall in the 15 years, we'll receive about $3.7 billion. And as that's a portion per the formula that exists today, the county would receive 2.66 billion. City of Tampa would receive 782 million, and then further down the line, Plant City and Temple Terrace. Timeline is pretty important. We've done a significant amount of work. There may not have been a whole lot of public discussion about the amount of work that's gone on, but as you know, sitting in government, there's a lot of work. It's kind of like an iceberg. You only see this part up here, and then there's a really big part underneath that everybody has spent quite a bit of time on crafting this and getting it to the point where we think we have enough support to get it on the ballot. The board has already voted to put it on the ballot. We are having public outreach meetings. We at the staff level cannot say anything in support or against. We can't advocate for it, but certainly you all as elected officials and as a body can do that. It's just staffs are prohibited from doing anything officially to advocate for it. We can educate, and I think, frankly, every group that I've talked to, and it's been a number, understands the critical need for this. I can't tell them how to vote, but I can paint the picture for what these dollars have done and what would likely happen if we didn't have the dollars. Welcome, Commissioner. So in July, we will have a public hearing on our project list, July 17th, public hearing on our project list and interlocal agreement with all of our partners. That is a critical meeting. If you can attend, I would encourage you to do that because there will be, I'm sure, conversation amongst the Board of County Commissioners on how best to proceed with the project list that the county has. We don't have veto authority over your project list, but we have provided that to our commissioners. Frankly, it's remarkably the same. It's all public needs. We're trying to meet all the capital needs for the community, and you all, frankly, it mirrors what we're trying to do. We are required to have an audit. We've had that a couple of times before. That audit needs to be completed by September, and then the results posted before the referendum can take place. Importantly, August 1 is that deadline for all of us to have our project list and our interlocal agreements approved. If we don't meet that timeline, the ordinance says it doesn't go on the ballot. So that's why it's critically important, as the mayor said earlier, for us to take this action sometime before the 17th. I'm hopeful that that will be soon for all of our jurisdictions. Plant City and Temple Terrace have already approved the interlocal agreement. They're having their public hearing on their project list in the next couple of weeks. Same thing with the school district. October, we rest, and November, we see what the voters think of the renewal proposal. So the board did approve 15-year term, and I've heard questions about why the board approved 15 years instead of 30. Frankly, it's compromise. I know there were some commissioners who wanted to see a 30-year term. There were other commissioners who were recognizing that we have a board with competing views on how this tax, the timeline for how this tax ought to be extended. And I will welcome Commissioner Harry Cohen, District 1. I believe both he and Commissioner Myers might want to say a couple of things after I'm done. But he was an architect for getting that compromise approved by the board. It's something that not everyone was happy with, but frankly, it's something that we had to do to get it to a point where we could put it on the ballot. So the school district is included at 5% off the top, $187.5 million. They did present a list to us that included 9 schools over 15 years that had $244 million. I have talked with the superintendent. There are other funding options to help fill the gap. I don't want to get into that now because that's a completely separate topic, but he has conveyed to me that he is comfortable that they can fill the gap if we take those other steps that are necessary. Project list for the entire term, that's why we're working on ours. In fact, we've defined it pretty broadly. We want to make sure we're trying to accomplish a number of needs in the community. I will say that there are a number of projects that are county-wide benefit. In other words, they don't just benefit the county, they benefit also every city. The court system, pet resources, regional parks improvements. All of those things are things that our residents want and need and expect to have as part of good governance. So we're paying for those, we're including those in our overall project list. There is a 70% limitation, as our board discussed. What happened last time in '96, about 95% of our funds were bonded almost immediately. What that did was projects got done, but it also circumscribed the ability of all of our respective boards to handle anything that might come up, whether as a result of an opportunity, a need, or a disaster where we had to repair something. It was only until about 4 years ago that our debt service was to the point where we had some excess revenue. And it's only been the last couple of years where that's been, because of the growth in sales tax, that's been significant enough for us to do other new projects. Interlocal agreements must be reached by August 1. Private sector outreach is critical. I mention this to every group I talk to. I cannot advocate for this. I'm not an elected official. We are precluded from doing that. Everyone who can advocate for it, one way or the other, we're hopeful that they do that. That really concludes my presentation, and with your indulgence, I would like the opportunity for our two commissioners to say a few brief remarks, if that's okay.
Welcome Commissioner Harry Cohen and Gwen Myers. Come on up if you'd like to say anything. Welcome back, Commissioner.
Well, no, thank you very much for having us today. And let me pick up where Greg left off by saying that I am an unabashed advocate for this. We really have to have this. I don't know how to say it any stronger. We all know the infrastructure challenges that we have. They're different in some ways in the city than they are in the county, but they're really all driven by the same thing, and that is this just unbelievable growth that we are experiencing. And for us to have any hope of even keeping up with our capital projects, we need for this to pass. I would urge everybody to remind our constituents, this is not a new tax. It is just a continuation of something that we've had for 30 years that has paid for an awful lot of things. The point that Mr. Horwedel made about projects that are county-wide that affect the cities, that also includes money for county-owned roads in the city, which a lot of you have talked to me about over the years in various different incarnations. And, you know, we have a lot of work going on now on Howard Armenia, and we have Columbus Drive, and last night we heard about improvements on West Shore and also Waters and Sly. But the bottom line is to really make progress, to really get some of these long-standing problems solved, this money is going to be crucial. So that is just what my appeal would be.
Thank you. Commissioner Myers?
Good morning.
Good morning.
The mayor said the critical word, critical, very critical. Greg came back and said the same thing, critical. It is very critical that we renew the CIT tax. We know Mayor Kilton from Plant City and Mayor Ross from Tampa Terrace. They're on board. I'm asking this council to join us so that we can do the heavy lifting to get the tax passed this coming November. Now, for our voters who are going to be voting, we need your help. If you're listening, we need your help as well on November the 5th to get this passed. Now, once the tax passed, we're going to have signage so that all the voters could see how the CIT tax is working in their communities. That signage would let you know the 0.5%, whether it's Howard and Armenia or Howard Avenue. We want them to know. But the heavy lifting starts with us as elected officials. I ask that you join us, talk about it, and let us get this passed. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right. So you could call it 0.5 cent for Hillsborough. You know, there's penny for Pinellas, whatever it is, but I will tell you, this will be make or break moving forward. And, you know, it kicked off in 1996. Councilman Miranda would know was County Commissioner Joe Chalura like the architect of this, or is it a greater effort? And he recently passed away, so I want to give him kudos But we see how this will go to paving our roads, building our sidewalks, building our fire stations. So many things that benefit this community. And again, 20% of it is paid for by outside entities that come and visit here. So it's a no-brainer, but it's the word critical. You know, we have to do this. Councilmember Moran.
Thank you. I hope I can use my 5 minutes. I think I will. First of all, I'm not against anything, or am I for everything? I try to look at things that are logical. Is it critical? Everything that comes here is critical. Everything. So when you go back in history, you go back to 96, in February or March of 96, there was a ballot taken on the same issue without one item out. And it failed miserably because it was like talking to a convention that had empty chairs. No one was there to listen because no one advertised it. Secondly, all of a sudden, on September the 6th of 1996, there was another vote cast, and that passed. Sure, it passed. One IRA proponent put $494,000 to advertise the need of it. It would pass if it done it in February, March also. To what? 0 on this side again. And it passed by 1.5%. Let's go further. The city of Tampa generates, I don't know what kind of tax, but I know it collects about 15 or 20% of the tax. Does it give more or less, and what the revenue is from the tax base in the city going into the tax? That's number one. Number two, and the financial officer of the city is here, and anytime you want to cut me off to say that I'm wrong, I accept it very kindly. There's a lot of other things that are going on. First of all, before this tax passed, the poor previous owner got only 25% of the parking revenue. What do they get now? 100%. Secondly, it was $250,000 or so dollars every time there's an event at that stadium, paid for by the city of Tampa, for the fire, police, and the good people that work and putting up the traffic signals and bringing back down all the cones and so forth and so on that's needed. And correct me if I'm wrong. If you multiply that by 10 events a game, that's 250,000. You multiply that by 30 years, you tell me what it is. You don't get 1 penny out of that. Second of all, you have an area that it's even more troubling to me. When the Sports Authority puts on an event to create money for themselves so they can function, guess what? Let's say Taylor Swift, and I'm just using this as an example, come to town. The first $2 million in profit does not go to the Sports Authority. It goes to them. Thereafter, any revenue that's created in that stadium is 50-50 if there's an event at the stadium, whether it's a concert or whatever it is that somebody sponsors. If it's Sports Authority sponsored, they get half of the proceeds. So I would imagine on a yearly average it's 4 or 5 million. I'm just taking a guess. Times what, 30 years? You tell me what that adds to. So I'm not against anything. I just want the public to know what they're voting for. And I'm going to continue to say what I said 30 years ago. In fact, I feel better now than I did 30 years ago. And I haven't grown any hair, I admit to that. But where is it that we do that for any other company or big avenue that comes to the city of Tampa or Hillsborough County? Where? Nowhere. Plant City grows terrific strawberries. If Temple Terrace grew strawberries and they have a lot of land, but Tampa's got a small acre of land and they produce more revenue of strawberries, not more strawberries, but more revenue of strawberries, how come we're not getting a greater portion? Answer that. Look at a mirror and ask yourself that. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So we go on and on and on and realize what we're getting into. And then you realize, because the devil's in the details, and I've seen no details to today. So I'm open for discussion as far as my vote, but I tell you what, until these things are answered, and the public's under a lot of stress. You have the pipes program that we did in the city of Tampa, $2.9 billion, and thank God we're paying 53% what? Cash up front as we go along, and 47% possibly. When you bond out this money, whatever the city of Tampa gets, you only get half of the production money goes to a project. The other half is interest. So the only way you can do this, if you have no interest at all and you do it project by project with cash, but thank you for your 5 minutes, Mr. Chairman.
You got 30 seconds.
I give up the other 30 seconds.
All right, Councilman Vieira.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and I wanted to thank everybody, the mayor, everybody from the county for being here, and, you know, it's good. I always believe that the city of Tampa works very well with Hillsborough County. That included the last county commission, and that includes this county commission. There was obviously a change in party affiliation. I have the pleasure of being the chairperson of HEART, and I work with a lot of folks on the county commission, Republicans and Democrats, and we get along. We disagree sometimes, but we always get along, and I know that's true. I never buy the county-city divisions. I remember 20 years ago when that was a big thing, and God willing, we'll never go back to that. I know we're not there now, but, you know, for me, this is just common sense, which is if you support things like our infrastructure, if you support our roads, if you support public safety, this is just common sense. To me, it's a matter of mathematics. If you say you're for cops, if you say you're for roads, if you say you're for firefighters, then you got to get the math to support them. That's it. End of story. This is not a new tax. This is a continuation of a tax with a continued emphasis on the things that we need here in this community, whether it's in the county or whether it's in the city. And I'm glad that folks are talking about, for lack of use of a better term, I guess, a campaign. You know, I look forward to speaking out on this with great vigor. I see our friends here from the police union and the fire union. I look forward to speaking with my good friends and doing as much stuff as we can do on social media to get the word out to our constituents on how this is a do or die moment for public safety. I look forward to working with people who I happen to be a registered Democrat. Obviously, I'm a nonpartisan in the city of Tampa, but I happen to be a registered Democrat. I look forward to working with Republicans to get this thing done. Because again, this tax, reauthorizing it, is about ties that bind us on things that we all agree on. We all support, the vast majority of us, I think, in the city of Tampa and county commission, or the county, support public safety, and we got to unite to do it. And again, it's just a matter of basic mathematics. So I look forward, hopefully, to doing events and whatnot with Republican elected officials and Republican leaders to show people that this is not a partisan issue. This is not a partisan tax. This is something that Republican groups and Democratic groups, I think, can get behind, and we have to keep that important in our messaging on this issue. So I'll, glad to support this. Again, it's a do or die moment for our roads, do or die moment for infrastructure, and a do or die moment for something that a do or die in life, and that's public safety. So I'll be glad to support this. Thank you.
Clendenin and Henderson.
Good morning. Absolutely a necessity that our community renew the CIT for the next 15 years. I applaud the county commission on the 70% limitation on bonded funds. I think that was a good move, and for the reasons that had been expressed, because it provides flexibility in the future. I think that was it was a wise decision of the county commission, and I think that's something that would be well thought through for our community. I echoing kind of exactly what the other council persons have said, is that we have critical needs in the city of Tampa, and we are a community that supports our police, supports our first responders and our fire. They have critical needs. Those needs have to be paid for. If we do not have the CIT, it's going to have to come from somewhere. And where that's going to be is millage or millage increases. So if you want to keep your tax base, where it's at, then this is critical for the city of Tampa, because those needs, it has to be paid for. I mean, we're not going to have, we can't afford to have cutbacks in public safety. We just absolutely cannot do that. So CIT is an important element to keep our city financially stable and to be able to provide the basic services that people expect in our community. Some of the devil's always in the details as we look at this, preparing the spending list and dotting the I's and crossing the T's. But the basic question is also, we have people coming in from our community that don't live in Hillsborough County every day to work. Right now, it's without this tax, it's a free ride. This is the only way we can really recoup some of that cost from them. So they come in and they're actually going to be paying the tax and paying part of the expenses of them working in our city. So a lot of this is not just the tourist, it's the day tourists. It's the people that are working, coming in, driving in from Polk County and Pasco County and Pinellas County. It's just, it's the right thing to do. There's really, honestly, there's no other alternative. If somebody has a better alternative, or they know where there's a pot of money that to be able to pay for basic government services, please let us know where it's at. But this is what we have to work with. This is the only answer to the future of not just Hillsborough County, but all of the 3 other cities in the city of Tampa. I look forward to supporting it. I look forward to working with the community to spread that message of how critical this is.
Councilmember Henderson.
Thank you, Chair. I support the CIT tax. Speaking plainly to the public, if we don't, the money is going to have to come from somewhere. And of course, our millage increase that we asked for did not pass. And that was significant. We could have done a lot of things with that. I understand that funding is the primary source of how our city functions, and we need the money to come from somewhere. This one, you don't necessarily feel the pain of it because it already exists, and I will support it that way. I don't like the fact that the Hillsborough County Schools was cut from 25% to 5%, but there are indications that funding can come from somewhere else. When it comes to education, any slicing of funds requires us to be creative, and at this point, with the way that our schools are going and the way that our teachers are underpaid in Hillsborough County compared to everyone else, that challenge still has to be faced, and it's going to be a part of the ballot initiative in November as well. So that is one of my concerns, but I do support CIT tax. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Councilmember Carlson.
Yeah, echo the things the other folks have said. We don't want to raise property taxes, and we don't want to find a new source of funding. At least I don't. And so this is something that exists right now. We desperately need help with roads. We desperately need help increasing the number of police officers and the facilities that they have, and we need help with fire stations and fire equipment. I know this only goes to infrastructure, but we still need to increase our budgets, and if we had to take from somewhere else, it would take away from what we would do. On the 70%, I thank the county for putting the 70% in. I wish it was less. I remember very well what happened early on when the CIT was passed and how the money disappeared and everybody else got stuck with no money. I wish there was also a requirement that the county would put on the city. It's too late, but I wish the county put a requirement on the city. If you spend more than like $20 million, you also have to get county approval. Because I think it's important that we look at how money is spent, and that money is spent on important projects that are necessary. The other thing is that a few months ago, we were trying to cut the downtown CRA in half going forward. The money's committed for the next 4 or 5 years, but after that, we could generate $20 or $30 million a year that's not committed. Just by cutting it in half, that would generate several $100 million over the next few years. The county has already pulled out of the downtown CRA, except for Water Street, but that would be like finding new money if we could move that back in. We were told the county didn't support that proposal, and so it was not approved by our board. But I hope the county will partner with us in the future, because that money would be critical. If we could move $20 million a year from downtown, where it's nice to have, to places like East Tampa or Sulphur Springs where we really need it, or even to fix roads in South Tampa, that would be critical. What the voters have said loud and clear is they don't want their taxes increased, especially their property taxes. They feel burdened already. And so we need to partner with the county to find other ways to find efficiencies. And I'm aware of some of the proposals that are going on at the county to maybe shift taxes or reduce taxes, and I think all that will be welcomed by taxpayers. Look forward to partnering with you more in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's nothing else, I'm going to.
Second go.
Councilmember, no? Councilmember Miranda. We haven't taken public comment yet.
There's things of ways of doing things. When you talk about the CIT taxes, not here. I mean, the CRAs are not on this item today, but I understand all that. But one CRA's got 9 years left. That's the channel side. The other a little bit longer. With the county's help, we've been able to do that very well. I think when you look at the CIT tax, you have to look at it at a different angle. What was the base before anything started, and what was the city and the county getting? I'll tell you what it was getting, almost nothing. It was all blight. especially in the Channel side and other areas. Downtown was blighted. Now it's rising, and it continues to rise, and so is Channel side, so is every one of them. So we're using that money correctly. However, whoever is in office, when these things end, they're gonna have an easy road on our backs, which is fine. Because why? And that revenue increase stays all the way into the general fund, doesn't go nowhere else. So you have blight that's been fixed, and what? And money that's coming in that you won't have more money than you can spend. You won't have to worry about sidewalk, you don't have to worry about road, you don't have to worry about sewer, you don't have to worry about anything. But let's get back to this. When you have this, you create another entity that is not governmental. And money is going to that entity in big time. So do we do that for everyone? Ask that to yourself, and the answer is no. So why do we do it? Do we take a vote and put it on the ballot and put that unit in? That's what happened in 1996. So it could pass? That's almost like a bribe. So that's why the taxpayers are disappointed to some degree. And today there's another discussion going on across the bay in a fine city named St. Petersburg, and they're facing basically the same discussion we are today. So I just don't like to give away public money to private business, especially businesses that every year go up in value, $500,000, half a billion, I should say, 500 million value plus, and the value of the entity that's created within the confine of the building. That is not, in fact, in 96, we were so anxious to get it done that when we transferred everything and everything was done, there was only one problem that happened then. The land still was in the city's name, and you can't do it. We had to deed it back to the county so that they could not pay what? No taxes. So that's where it's at. A contract has got 30 years when I have people losing where they live, either rent, because they can't afford it, it was $1,000, now $1,500, now $2,000, or they can't buy a house, and here I give a lease to someone for 30 years without one penny increase. And we're pounding our chest how well we're doing. What a wonderful story that is. I'm not against anything, but I'm against giving money away for everything. Thank you.
Councilmember Hurtak.
I really just want to hear from the public.
Yeah.
I really thought we should have heard from them before we started speaking because it's kind of sounds like a done deal. So I would really love to hear from the public before we.
Public comment. Who wishes to speak on this item? Come on up. Please state your name. You'll have 3 minutes.
Good morning, Stephanie Pointer. I was wondering, I knew everybody was going to vote for this up there. I'm glad to see the mayor's here, third time. Third time's the charm. I want to see more of her here. I'm glad that her public relations folks are here. Glad Mr. Smith is here, because every one of you need to be in videos supporting this. Because if we lose this, we're screwed. We are losing significant amounts of money. I'm with Charlie. Charlie, I'm not into supporting football in any way, shape, or form, but hey, they've already obligated it. We can't take it back now. And you know what? If we don't get this, we're going to have a millage increase because we can't live without it. So I'm very, very passionate about getting this passed. But I'm sorry, but the public relations folks are going to have videos from every one of you, and you guys are going to have to be part of the program to push this through. It shouldn't be you doing it independently. It should be the city of Tampa and their staff pushing this out. And I'd like to see for the first time videos with each one of you guys talking about why this is so important to our community, because we cannot ignore that we have 8 elected officials. We cannot ignore that we have 8 elected officials. Please, I would love to see more public transit on our list and on the BOCC's list, but they obviously are going to do their own thing and think in their own way. But it's extremely obvious that everybody's going to support this. We're obligated contractually to support multi-billionaires, millionaires, whatever, but, and I'm bow down and thank Jesus every day that the rays are Pinellas County's problem. Have a good day.
Amen. Anybody else wish to speak? Thank you very much. Councilmember Hurtak.
I thought we'd at least get some of our union reps to speak too, but I guess they're here and just in support, which is good. Yeah, I'll go ahead and move the resolution.
Second.
Hold on, Mr. Shelby.
Oh,
If we can. That's item 1. We just took the public comment. You're still in the public hearing. That's fine.
Then move to close.
second.
We have a motion to close the public hearing from Councilmember Hurtak, second from Councilmember Henderson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
I'll move resolution F24-6494.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Henderson, Mr. Shelby.
Yeah,
Did you want to start or
yeah,
should I?
yeah, before we vote, there are folks who are spreading misinformation to the media and others about me and, pushing salacious stories that aren't true. And,
About this?
no, about many things. And so to hopefully preempt any kind of negative story, or somebody from playing dirty politics related to this, I want to just tell everybody, I have before recused myself related to Hillsborough County Schools. My firm has worked with them for longer than I've been on council, but we don't work on anything related to the city, and we don't work on this at all. We're not involved at all. We don't. It doesn't inure to our private gain or loss. Marty, do you have any questions regarding that?
No. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I think. Do you want to talk about the agency thing? Or?
Well, well, the question is, are you asking as to whether you should vote on this?
Yeah, I mean, do I have
Well,
I have a conflict from your research and your investigation?
With regard to this particular subject matter, as you've described, the school board in this case is an agency pursuant to Florida Statutes 112.312 sub 2, and because of that, it is exempted from the voting conflict. In other words, it is not a principle by whom you are retained for the purposes of a voting conflict, and that is in section 112.31431A. And in consultation with attorneys with the Florida Commission on Ethics, it is my professional opinion that you do not have a voting conflict, and under Florida statutes, it is your obligation to vote.
Thank you.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
6-1. Please read the vote.
Motion carries with Miranda voting no.
Thank you very much. Who wishes to move item number 3?
So moved.
We have a motion from Councilmember Henderson, second from Councilmember Vieira. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? If you want to read the vote.
Wait a minute. This-
Motion carries.
Item number 3.
This is item number
3.
3, and was the vote announced on number 2?
Yes, it was.
It was,
She read
okay.
it.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand it. I'm looking at it now, and I'm gonna vote no, because I don't think the levy is based on incomes that are created within the district. It's based on population, not the monies that are collected.
All right.
What is that again?
It's a 6-1 vote, if you could read it.
Is that for item 3?
Item number 3.
Item number 3, motion carries with Miranda voting no.
Thank you very much.
And item
Yes?
number 2, if I could just ask again, what is the vote on item number 2?
6-1, and she read it into the record.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. We are adjourned.
Thank you, council.
Motion to receive and file.